Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about a couple important things. We're going to talk about, make sure you put your date, and we're going to talk about significant digits and an introduction to correlation coefficients. And you're going to want to have your calculator with you. So first of all, significant digits is basically the precision of the digits. You guys are always asking me, what do I round to? Well, you want to look at significant digits to tell you the precision or what to round to. Okay, so basically, in order to do that, we need to look at our data. Oops. So we're going to look at our data, and here I can see I have months on one side, and then I have dollar amounts on the other side. So all these dollar amounts go out to the pennies place, or we could say the tens place, right? So, oops. Hello. So I look at all my data here. So because everything is rounded to the pennies place or the tens place, my significant digits, and we can just say my significant digit is the pennies place. So that means any math I'm going to do, I'm going to round to the nearest penny or the nearest tenth, because this is as far as my data goes out. So that's called significant digits. You'll learn more about that in science next year. But you just look at your data and you let your data guide you into where to round. So we're going to look at first making the linear regression of this data. So another thing, when we are doing linear regression, which is a linear line, and we have months, we put those into numbers. So instead of January here, that's the first month of the year. So that's going to be number 1, February is 2, March would be 3, April would be 4, May would be 5, and June would be 6. So like you took in your notes earlier, we bring up our calculator, and you should have in your notes, and if you don't, then you need to make sure you add those in here. When we're putting in our data, the first thing we have to do is go to Stat, and it's already on Edit, so I hit Calc, and this is List 1 and List 2. This is always my X, this is always my Y. This is my X, this is my Y. Make sure you have that in your notes. The first column is your X, unless said otherwise. The second column is your Y. So we're going to take a minute and put this in our calculators. Okay, and just like we talked about in class, we just plug these in and hit enter. And my last one, this is probably underneath my head, 3.32. And to get, and we hit enter, and then to get back and forth, you just right and left arrow. So always good practice. Take a minute and make sure everything you put in is correct. If one of these numbers is off, your entire math is off. So it's always good practice to take just a second and look at it. Okay, so we should know that it goes Stat, enter here. Now from here, we do Stat over to Calc. We're looking for the linear regression, which is number 4, and we hit enter. So you can see my A, or my slope. Remember, A is really the M. They like to use A on the calculator. And B is my y-intercept. So this is where I want to use my significant digits, because this is a really long number to write. So it's to the pennies place, so I'm going to round my y-intercept to 3.12 here. And I'm going to round my slope to 0.04. So both get rounded. Okay. So when I'm doing my linear regression here, we can go ahead and say the linear regression for this equation is y equals 0.04x plus 3.12. Is that what we said? 3.12. Okay, so this is my significant digits here. Okay, now we're going to learn about one other thing, and that is called correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient tells me how closely this is to my line of fit. This is my line of fit. We call it the linear regression, but it's also our line of fit. So let's take a couple of quick notes here. So my linear regression in a scatter plot is the line of best fit. That's what I'm finding. We use significant digits to determine where to round my equation. Okay. So I'm also going to show you something else on your calculator. And that is, a lot of times we don't want to have to take this and copy all these numbers into that. So I can actually save it. Because right now, as I showed you in class, this plot 1 needs to be highlighted in order to show all the things I put in line 1 and line 2, right? So there it is. Now that doesn't look very good. So I need to go to my window and I need to change my axis depending on this. So I know my x-axis goes 1 through 6, right? So my minimum can be 0 on the x, and my maximum I usually put just a little bit over so it doesn't interrupt. Then we can go a scale of 1. Now this is my y-axis, okay? So my lowest number is 3.15. So I might put my minimum as 3. My maximum number is 3.35. So I might put that as like, let's say 3.4 maybe, or 5. And then my scale, I don't want it to go by ones because this is going up by, hundreds here, right? Actually, I did. So I want this to go up by 0.01 because that's my significant digit, the hundredths place. So now look and see how big your graph changes. Do you see how different that looked than where we had it before? So your window is very important when you are putting these in, okay? So now let's say I want to graph my line of best fit in here. I could do two things. I can put my rounded answer in there, or when I go to my linear regression here, I can go to this button here which says vars, and I hit y, it stands for variable, and it's a function, and I hit enter, and I want it to go into my y1, so I hit enter and enter. Oops, what happened? Let's try that again. Stat 4, and then I want to go to the vars, the y vars, and on 1, I want to go into y1 and hit enter. So now when I go to my y1, see how it put it in there for me? I didn't have to copy that big long number in there. And then when I hit graph, I can see my line goes through there quite easily, yeah? Okay. So let's write a couple more notes here real quick. All right, so to copy the linear regression, these were the steps we took. We hit, first we hit stat, then we hit calc, right arrowed over to calc. We hit number 4 for linear regression. Then we hit the vars button and enter, enter. And it went into line 1 for us. So that's how we copy it into linear regression. The second thing we're going to talk about is correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient tells us how significant or how close our data is to the line of fit. Obviously, the closer it is to this line, the better relationship you have. The farther these points are away from the line, the less your relationship is. And in this case, our relationship is the average gas price over the 6 months. So we want to determine is the average gas price by the month a significant correlation. So we have to do a couple of things. Some of yours is set up already and some is not. So we have to do a few things on our calculator. We have to go to the catalog. So we hit second catalog here. And we're looking for the function called diagnostic on. And diagnostic starts with a D. So you see right here how you have D there? We hit second D, or alpha D, excuse me, twice. And that scrolls me down to the D's. And then I'm going to go to diagnostic on and hit enter and enter. Okay? And then when I go to my linear regression model, I will have now this R. Okay? So let's take a couple of notes on that. So on our graphing calculator, first of all, the correlation coefficient tells us how strongly our data is related to the line of BISFIT. Okay, so just to recap, once we do this, we don't have to do it again. The R will always be there, but then if you reset your calculator, it goes away. So we do second catalog. We look for diagnostic on, and we have to hit enter twice. Enter, enter. And the correlation coefficient is denoted with the letter R. Okay? So the closest the R is to 1 or R is to -1, the stronger the relationship is. If you have an R equals 0, that means there's no relationship. And we're going to discuss this a little bit more tomorrow. So if we look at our calculator here, our R was 0.9, which is 1/10 away from 1. So we can say this is a pretty strong relationship between the month and the amount of gas prices. Now I know this video is a little long, and that's why I'm giving you no questions, just notes tonight. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. Good night.